Siema, z tej strony Atomic i witam was w kolejnym odcinku, chyba już 8, z serii Kingdom Come Deliverance. W dzisiejszym odcinku m.in. nauczymy się czytać. Taki jest przynajmniej plan na razie. Także gnamy co fabryka dała Siwkowi do skrywy w Łużycach. Tak się właśnie prezentuje to miasto. O, nowe punkty. Dobrze. To jest mniej więcej gdzieś na tej górce, z którą już to minąłem. Dobrze, jadę. Kolejnym planem jest popytanie we wsi o tych bandytów królowego szczególnie. Ale nic, na razie idziemy do skryby. O, to chyba tu. No tak, schodzimy z konia. Lecimy. Jest i skryba.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the makings of a priest orc. But why not? I've taught all sorts. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few groschen for my trouble.
All right. I don't want to waste time. We can get started. The sooner I master it, the better.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least...
Here are your groschen.
Then we may as well start.
Co teraz będziemy robić? Pewnie jakaś...
He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart. Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, you read a bit.
O! Co?
There's a book here on the
Przeczytaj.
table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
Dobrze. Przeczytaj księgę. Aha. Aha, bo tu są literki. Będziesz musiał znaleźć kogoś, kto cię nauczy czytać, okej. Teraz... Generalnie to te literki są poprzestawiane. Więc chyba jeszcze nie za bardzo umiem czytać.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me, what...
O kurde.
That being greedy doesn't pay.
Excellent. You're one
Ale...
of my most talented pupils.
Ale
You've uncovered the
utalentowany
meaning
uczeń
hidden
jestem.
in the
No.
letters. Like I told you, books are valuable. And the words that you place in them ought to be no less so.
Does that mean that I can read then?
Jasne, że tak.
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully learn round words will
Łacinie
take a
teraz.
lot more reading yet. Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many
Kurde.
books are written in Latin, the language of erudite and religious men. If you really want to be able... There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand it, but you should master the letters.
Okay.
You're a clever lad. You'll manage.
Dobra. W takim razie... Siadamy i... czytaj. O kurde. O kurde. Teraz to dopiero chyba połatwiej. Dobra.
I read the page.
So tell me, Distupule, what's written there?
O kurwa. O. Powiedzmy, że to.
Dullest liver...
Not bad, my boy. Good effort.
Dobra, czyli jeszcze raz. Czyli nie ma tak łatwo. Nie, fajny element tej gry, naprawdę. Naprawdę się postarali. Null sub est libre. Aha, dobra. Dobra, teraz już wiadomo. Dobra.
I read the
Ten,
text.
So tell me, good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons
ale dobrze.
before.
Ale dobry jest.
Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go and be
Jest cyk.
ordained right away.
Nie wiem,
Thank
ile
you.
minęło nagrania. Może z 5 minut 36 sekund nauczone zostało czytanie. Dobrze. To teraz tak. Zobaczmy sobie gracz. Siła. Twierdza. Aha, dobra. W każdym razie jak piórko. Kurde, przydałby mi się, bo ja lubię spadać coś. Że tak powiem. Ale retoryka, witalność, zręczność. Ale zobaczmy umiejętność. Czytanie. Książki w kramie są tańsze. Co tu jeszcze mamy? Drobna kradzież. Jazda konna. Dobra, weźmiemy sobie to. Obserwacja, łowy, bicie. Co? Rozwiązuje język? Aha. Fenomenalne. Łamywanie, dzielarstwo. Dobrze. Reputacja, o. Co? Dobra, generalnie nie jest aż tak źle. Jeszcze równej. Psi równa nie lubi. A, nie, muszę się go zapytać od razu o bandytę.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't.
Must be that farmhand Lubosh. I don't know what.
Okej.
May the Lord watch over you.
Super, to skryba od razu na nas i tak. Raz, nauczył nas czytać. A dwa... Zbadamy miejsce. Informator. Wiecie co? Przejdziemy się do informatora. Siadamy na konia. Sichta naszego. Do informatora. Oberża. Przydałoby się może kupić coś do jedzenia. To jest informator? Tak, to jest nasz informator.
Good health to you.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Indeed, there is.
Oho.
Just last night, Father Godwin was here, calling fire and brimstone down on old Gertrude, the herb woman. He's not one to make a fuss over some trifle either. Oh, and another thing. Around here, you should hear about what Vashek the groom has been up to at the stables. When the head groom told the lads here, they fell off their seats laughing.
Dobrze.
I'm looking for a.
What would you want with him?
Dobra, to samo powiedział. Może ma coś ciekawego? Nie. Wiecie co? Kurde. Coś co ma długą trwałość. 2 dni. 2 dni, 2 dni. Wszystko ma po 2 dni. No ten... Gorzałka oczywiście. Skończenie wiele dni. Zbawiony sznaps, nie. O, salami możemy w sumie kupić, ale ile to kosztuje? Żywica jest tanie. Nie 4. Dobra. Dobra. Nie targujemy się, bo szkoda czasu. Marka, aha, dobra. To w takim razie... O, wzrost reputacji nastąpił. Pojedziemy sobie... Jest to miejsce... Handlarz. Pojedziemy jeszcze do handlarza. Może ma coś ciekawego. Co ja robię? Dobra. Nie wiem czemu to zrobiłem nawet. Pojedziemy sobie do handlarza. No nie, niczym płotka zwiedzimy. Gdzie jest ten nasz handlarz? O, jest. Nie no, płotka, naprawdę. Jeszcze musimy mieć na piechotę. Handlarz jest. W której stronie? Gdzieś tu? Chyba tu. A tak. O.
Good day to you. Farewell.
Co by tutaj można było... Herkules i jego strawa. Pouczająca księga o sile. Bo też czytałem, że jeżeli... Dobrze, nie będę spoilerował. Pitna woda... Przeszywanica... Lepsza jakaś... Kurczę, jakąś broń bym kupił dobrą. Ale... Jak się strzała topór. Nie. Kurde, nie. Ten. Strażnik sklepu? Dobrze. Gdzie jest siwek? Dobra, ale trochę... Może byśmy poszukali na jakiegoś zbrojmistrza. Partnerza czy coś takiego. Nie wiem, może gdzieś jest. Berża skrywa... Coś jest jeszcze niezbadane miejsce. Kościół. Tu jest piekarz. A po drugiej stronie miasta... Właściwie nie po drugiej, tylko tu. Niedaleko. Zieleniarz. Kurczę pieczone. Tu jest... O nie! O nie! Przepraszam was, ale ktoś zaczyna wiercić. Karamba. Muszę na chwilę... Może przestaną, mam nadzieję. Dobrze. Lecimy do tego bandyty. Mamy jakiś tam kordelas, niby. Nie wiem, kto wie, czy trzeba będzie z nim walczyć. Mam nadzieję, że nie. W razie czego poratujemy się ucieczką, gdybyśmy nie dali rady. W każdym razie... Tu? A to tu. Już wołał chyba. W sensie w grze. Okej. O, co to za zbiegowisko?
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need.
Co się dzieje?
We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's
Brudas
Captain
taki.
Bernard.
Brudna
I'm
ta
investigating the
przeszywanica.
attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you
Co tam się stało?
to Limpy Lubosh,
Jakaś krwawa masakra?
or all that's left of him.
Co się stało? Co jest grane? O kurde.
Sakra.
Wiesz,
Nothing's ever easy.
to jest fantastyczne ten,
I'll have
ten
to take a look
dubbing.
around and ask a few
Jest
more
angielski
questions.
piękny, a później
That's
jest
all right with you?
te czeskie przekleństwa.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
O kurde.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
Dobrze,
How come he limped?
He got that from some villain.
dobra.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know.
Damy się wszystko.
The last few
szybko.
days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or home.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None.
No to
Alone
nie
he
ma
was.
żadnych tropów.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Another thing about Lubosz.
Się więcej o nim nie dowiemy.
Don't move a finger.
Co jest
Surrender!
grane?
You've
Co
committed
jest
a
grane?
crime and I'm arresting you.
Jakie przestępstwo?
Bring your neck, you cur.
Enough!
Co jest grane? Ty,
You've been making trouble and beating people. You should have thought twice about what you're doing.
co jest grane? Ty.
All right.
You've paid for your crimes.
Okej, zapłaciłem, ale nie wiem o co chodzi. Mistrz
Jesus
Rucznictwa.
Christ be praised.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm a
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I care?
Kurczę,
Ask.
przepraszam was, ale ktoś naprawdę wierci.
That man Lubosz.
He was a strange one. Always drink.
Dobrze, to
Have
przewiniemy
you noticed
trochę.
anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately. Not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church.
Czyli wczoraj jeszcze żył.
Do you know anyone?
I really don't know.
Dobra,
That's all.
już więcej nam nie powiedzą.
Take care now.
Śniaczka, wieśniak.
out.
Kurde, nie z nim.
Luck to you.
Aj, przepraszam was, naprawdę coś
Good day to you.
wierci.
Do you know
Eee,
He was alone.
Dobra, oni wszyscy powiedzą to samo.
May the Lord watch over.
Biegniemy do proboszcza, tak? Proboszcza? Dobrze. Lecimy do proboszcza, bo siwek. Dobra, lecimy do proboszcza. Może on coś wie. Ale nie mam pojęcia, za co mnie w sumie kurde zaczęli bić. Przecież ja nic nie zrobiłem. Gdzie jest kościół? Tu jest kościół. Czy co, przepraszam? Proboszcz. Co? Proboszcz, aha. Tu jest. Ojciec Boguta.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the
Detective
massacre of
Henry chciałeś
Neuhoff,
powiedzieć.
which seems to be connected to a murder. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business...
Did you know Lubosz? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough...
Dobra.
Do you know what Lubosz was doing on the day Neuhoff was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know.
What?
Bound by certain vows that forbid...
Vows more important than catching...
There are laws of God above
Yeah,
the
no.
laws of man's son. And one of those is the sanctity
To
of the
nieźle.
confessional.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child. All sorts of suspicious...
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what...
I've got no time for this.
You're threatening me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't...
I understand how keen you are. I truly like that.
nie.
Father, Lubosz was my only lead to the Neuhoff raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was...
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional.
Jeny te
Suppose
zasady.
we talk it over in the evening.
Ja
in the tavern.
pierniczę.
of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right.
Good luck to you.
Okej, musimy się z nim spotkać. A ja chciałbym... chciałbym zobaczyć, co jest tutaj. I... No tak, to tyle. A co to jest? Aha, dobra, to stero. Steresy. Pojedziemy na konia. Koniem. Nie, Polska. Polska język, trudny język. Dobrze. Musimy jechać... w tę stronę. Dobrze jadę, kurde. No nie dobrze jadę. Nie, no znowu wierci. Dobrze jadę? Dobrze jadę. Pojedziemy zobaczyć sobie to miejsce, obadać. Na szybko. Jest niedaleko. O ile już nie minęliśmy go. Chciałbym... strzelnica. Ale chciałbym się spotkać z jakimś zbrojmistrzem, bo moja broń... Czyli ten nieszczęsny Cordelas. Słabiutki. No niestety... nie jest jakiś... potężny. Mamy się z nim spotkać wieczorem, czyli w sumie, no nie wiem, 19, myślę, że będzie dobrze. Poczekamy sobie do tego czasu. Spotkamy się z nim, myślę, i wtedy może jakoś to się da namówić tego ojczulka duchownego. Kurde, z głodem jest problem. Co się dzieje? Czemu nie mam muzyki? Żebyśmy się słuchawki zepsuły? Sekundka, chwilę, muszę zobaczyć, co tu biega. Już jestem. Trochę mi się kabel poluzował po prostu. Z słuchawek. Co jest grane? Dobrze, szuka Kazik. Kazik? Co to
Good
Kazik?
health.
I've come in.
I don't know nothing about.
Do you
Not with anyone from the.
Kurde.
have you noticed?
Come to think of it, I was one.
Dobra, nieważne.
God be.
Oni wszyscy odpowiadają to samo. Bo gdzie jest ten ojczulek? Ale to chyba w środku, nie? Już jest. Dobra. Tu jest wieśniak. Chyba jeszcze trzeba na niego czekać. Chyba jeszcze nie jest wieczór według nich. A jest godzina... To jest on? Rządca. Kurde. Dobra, do tej 21 powiedzmy. Czyli jak już chyba będzie zmierzchać powoli. Się robi ciemno. Dobra. Gdzie jest ojciec? Duchowny. W środku. O, jest i ojciec
Blessings of
Boguta.
our Lord.
And with you, lad.
Okej. Dobra, siadamy. Kto to jest? Konkubin? Co?
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son.
I'm from Skalitz.
Aha, to coś chyba było.
I'm sorry.
E,
What about your kin?
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it.
I understand. It must have been terrible. To the memory of all who were left behind. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send...
Ale as usual.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led
Okay.
him to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of
No,
torture.
do tego
We'll have to
czytać
drink
umie.
to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
It doesn't matter what happened there. The important thing is, a witness who could have led me further is nailed to a wall.
You could put it that way, but I don't think you're being entirely fair,
Czemu?
my son.
O co chodzi?
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn. Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Okej.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop.
Chin up, lad.
What?
Jaki?
If I tell you what Lubosz told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my...
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation.
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an
stara,
empty church.
żeby wierni nie odchodzili.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days, and stories from real life with a nice moral to them are popular as well, especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau monastery.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I'd be... he's getting...
What do you suppose? We have a drink of...
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Picie. Nowy poziom w picie. Jasne, że tak. Oho.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padną dziesięć smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech już małżeński majstak, do wczera żylne saje prak.
Prezesa całego, jeszcze ta muzyka. Z księdzem na rękę siłowanie.
Enough of this!
Co jest grane?
Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped,
O
put in the
nie.
stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about
Taki
you.
wyluzowany ksiądz. Fajnie.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Jeny, co za gbur. Teraz... O jeny.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
To jest zły pomysł. To zły pomysł.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Co jest grane? O kurde.
Alright, now you're dead. Look it out!
No nie. Nowa. Czy ja go zabiłem? Dostał. Dostał kopa.
You think because I'm a man of cloth, I won't kick your arm?
Kurde, coraz gorzej. Coraz gorzej jest z tym alkoholem. O jeny. O kurde. Nie wiem gdzie ja jestem nawet. Nie mam pojęcia gdzie ja jestem.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
Co się dzieje?
Say what they like. What do I care? What are you to me?
Co jest grane? Gdzie ja spadłem? Co się stało? Jesteś przeciążony. Ale czym jestem przeciążony? To są chyba schody jakieś. Nie mogę skakać? Kurde. Ale dymy. Nic nie widzę. Dobra, tu coś jest. Oho. Co jest grane? Ale dymy.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Jeny, co za prop. A będą dymy przez to.
This is wonderful.
O kurde.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Jaki puść programu?
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
To niezły gwóźdź programu.
Oh.
Priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Okej. Generalnie to nie wiem co się dzieje. Ten beczy jak owca jakaś. Nie wiem co się dzieje. Trzeba coś chyba wywalić, bo mam przeciążenie. 78,5. Wiecie co, wyrzucimy sobie jakieś jabłko. Nie, dobra, to wyrzucimy. Już? Nie. Ale to chyba możemy zjeść. Teraz to tak nie waży aż. Już poczekamy sobie chwilę. Co? Nie, ta gra jest jakaś dziwna.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Jeny. Zaufanie księdza zdobyte.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you?
Henry. My great friend, Henry. And we have a wonderful time.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. My poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about?
Ale ksiądz, muszę wam powiedzieć, że niezły ksiądz jest normalnie.
What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me. I'd like to help you, but you can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Taki układ już jest trochę lepszy.
All right. I can't.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosz.
Christ almighty.
Wonderful.
Warto by było jakoś się ubrać. To też się przyda. To... Kurde. Też by się przydało. Też. Też. Dobrze. To... Aha, mam dwa. Założę jeszcze... Co założę? Z rękawa, dobrze. Dobrze, chodzi. Ale ta gra jest szalona, powiem. Gra jest naprawdę szalona. Chyba stąd spadłem, ale nie jestem pewien. Spadek reputacji?
I thought he'd never show up.
He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem
Super, że wszystko
in
rozumiemy.
sanctas ad venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Wina jeszcze będzie jeszcze pił, wino pił, kurde.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God
Jeny, to niezły ksiądz,
was
jak
able
on
to hear
kłamie.
Master Jan Hus
W ogóle
from the
wszystko.
esteemed Charles University
Pije.
preaching. I've managed
Chędoży.
to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard.
Dobra,
Because,
teraz będzie ciekawie.
as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will be
Jo.
first.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Creation
Oh.
has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone. It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, enemies, injustice, hunger and chaos, failed harvests, fires, floods, and other catastrophes. And it is all due to the corrupt servants of God who do not practice what they preach. They think sins can be washed away by money, and they sell indulgences, and that
Jednych ten.
that's
Ksiądz
bad,
Henry.
because sins cannot be redeemed with silver.
Prague didn't do much for his confidence.
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in
No.
all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Enough
Delikatnie.
about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. Look at them.
Kurde.
They booze like hypocrites and buy expensive jewels. They servants of God. And that is not right because Christ preached poverty. And only temperance are true virtues.
It was almost getting interesting.
Kurde.
I
jakiś
say to you,
cytacik.
in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. He who knows little, let him speak little. Let each speak as much as he knows. And he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbor one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion?
That is all I
Jasne, że
heard
tak.
in Prague. Amen.
Fenomenalne. Przemówienie. Zambony. Księdza Henry'ego.
Have you no shame, you pair of buffoons?
Kurde.
I'll be writing to the bishop of this. For shame.
Utterly blasphemous.
Can you believe such behavior? For men of the cloth to get drunk and...
Nie no. Ale ten kościół strasznie brzydki w środku jest. Chyba, że remont jest po prostu, bo widzę, że jakieś usztowane są.
Is our deal still on?
Are you pulling my fucking pizzle? I couldn't have done worse myself if I'd puked on the altar.
Well, I'm no preacher.
Yeah, I noticed. And I wasn't the only one.
You can't be serious. After all that?
All what? All you making a
Over
complete
there.
hash of my sermon? You were supposed to help, not get me into even more trouble. Now I'll have the bishop on my
A to
back,
tylko i
and all the
wyłącznie jest jego wina.
villagers. Just leave, I need to pull myself together.
Przechlał. W
What
sumie
am I
też się
supposed to do?
podjąłem
Find
decyzję,
someone
że
else
chlać
to help
trzeba.
you.
Ale to już mniejsza o to. I teraz chyba widocznie
My insides are shriveled up with the hunger.
jedyny... Pójdziemy jeszcze do oberży. Przespać się. Gdzie jest ta oberż? Gdzie ona? Co? Co to było?
God be with you.
I've come in the name of...
I don't know.
Do you know what...
He looked like he was in a hurry.
That man Lou...
I didn't really...
That's all.
Dobra.
Good luck to you.
Idziemy do oberży, że naprawdę trzeba się wyspać.
Jesus Christ.
Have you got a bed?
Aye. For how long?
Just the one.
Sure, but
There you
Dobra,
go.
to
you'll like it here.
Where do I go?
You'll have no trouble finding it. Right inside the door to the building.
dobrze.
May the Lord watch over you.
Prześpimy się zatem. Gdzie jest ta drabina? To jest drabina. Idziemy spać. Dzień. Myślę, że do 17 co najmniej. Trzeba coś zjeść. Nieważne co, ale cokolwiek nawet. To skrzynia jest. Ale wiecie co? Będziemy zaraz kończyć. Dobrze. Kupimy jeszcze od niego coś do jedzenia. Kupimy od niego powiedzmy odżywczość. Energia -3, kasza. Dobra, kupimy sobie to. Bo jest tania, w miarę pożywna. Zjemy sobie kaszę. My też. Soczewice. Dobra, tyle wystarczy generalnie. Co my musimy właściwie teraz zrobić? Możemy pojechać tutaj. To jest jakieś zadanie DLC. Wiecie co? Zaraz wam powiem co. Dobrze. Na razie kończymy, także dzięki za wytrwanie do końca. Jeżeli wam się spodobało, zostawcie subskrypcję, łapkę w górę. Dzięki, do następnego odcinka.